Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about Gotham. The final season has just begun, and I thought I should put my little thoughts on this. Now, before I start, I want to say, just in case some of you are wondering, David, I thought you'd do a superhero TV podcast on the weekends. What's going on? Because I have been ever since October, I think, when the Arrowverse all started, and I'm changing things up. I felt it wasn't working the way I felt I wanted it to, and sometimes there's weekends where I'm not able to do it. So I'm going to stop the superhero TV podcast, and instead, when I want to review a season, I'll just review the season as a whole by the end when it all finishes. If there's things during the season that I want to talk about, like Arrow or Flash, or in this case, Gotham, then I'll just talk about it. Why not, right? Talk about the little things that are important to the season. So let me start off by saying that this premiere was actually really good for Gotham. I'm really excited on where this season is going. There's only going to be 13 episodes of Gotham this season, and then that's it. It's done. This is the final season. No Man's Land, for those of you that don't know, is where Gotham is hit by an earthquake in the comics, and everybody, including the villains and the heroes, are all scattered. A lot of the villains take up their own territories and take over Gotham, while the police department and Batman are trying to save Gotham and bring it back up to what it once was. So Gotham is doing their own little spin on it, because Bruce is not Batman yet. Gotham has always been about Bruce Wayne becoming Batman and a young Commissioner Gordon becoming the commissioner that he will once become, and the two of them one day teaming up and kicking some ass. Obviously, we get some shades of that in this episode. We've been getting shades of it throughout the course of the series, but this is the one where you can see we're almost there. We're almost at the finish line. And because there was that moment in this premiere where Gordon even extends a welcome to Bruce, saying, "Hey, Bruce, if you want to work for the GCPD, come join us anytime." That's the open invitation that Bruce needed to allow himself to become Batman. But obviously, he'll become Batman, but work as a vigilante. But I think Gordon will allow Bruce to do his vigilantism on the side as long as it gets things done. Because Gotham is so corrupt, right? That's the only way Batman can operate, and Gordon will allow it. I did like seeing the fractions of the villains. I liked seeing the Scarecrow taking care of his stuff, the Penguin taking care of his stuff, Barbara, obviously. And then we don't get all the villains, obviously. Like Jerome is missing and apparently hasn't been seen since the finale of Gotham's last season. But we might have gotten our first look at Harley Quinn. There was a girl at the police department who was snooping around Gordon's office. Gordon didn't see her, but there was on the map, ha ha ha, with a Joker face planted on it. So that will be. I hope we get to see Jerome or it's not Jerome, it's Jeremiah. I hope we get to see him a little sooner than later, because the Joker, obviously Batman's greatest villain of all time, and many people would consider him the greatest super villain of all time. So hopefully we get a lot of him in this season, since it's the final, right? Not just saving him for the last 3 episodes. I want to see more of Jeremiah this time, especially since Harley Quinn is going to be with him too. I kind of felt sorry for Selina in this episode, man. She's feeling suicidal, which is something you don't see a lot in superhero TV shows. So it's kind of cool that that they're using that in her storyline. Obviously, because she can't walk anymore, she feels the need to let go. And then there's that doctor saying she was all awkward and stuff, telling Bruce, "You need to find the witch. No doctors will help." I thought that was a little corny. But for the most part, okay, let's see who this witch is. I have no theories on who the witch could be, but I'm liking it. I'm curious to who this witch is. I'm thinking Poison Ivy. I don't know. Is there another witch, a powerful witch that could help Bruce? I have no idea. And then obviously the Riddler was in this episode too. The Riddler is losing control of himself, it seems like. He's in control, his smart self, but he thinks the dumb part of him is still in control of him when he's sleeping. So, and it looks like it too, because he found himself the next day in a dumpster. So I guess the dumb part of Nigma is still around. I don't know. I don't know if I like this storyline where they're taking the Riddler, but I'll give it a shot. We'll see how it progresses. By the end of it, I'll know for sure if I liked it or not. And the Riddler is a great character, but I want to see him causing trouble for everybody, and maybe this is the build up to it. So we'll see. For the most part, I am loving Bruce Wayne. David Mazouz as Bruce is a great actor. Obviously, he's grown into a great actor since we first saw him. Same thing with the actress who plays Cameron, who plays Selena. I think both of them have grown into fine actors, and to see him become Batman, I think it's going to be interesting because he doesn't have the build to become Batman yet. I mean, he is taller than he was from the pilot, right? In the pilot, he was just a little small kid. But now you look at scenes with him and Ben McKenzie as Gordon, and Gordon is like looking up at Bruce, and I'm like, oh, he's a little taller than he used to be. So it's kind of funny that he's looking up to him now rather than looking down when he was just a small little kid. But I still can't see him as Batman. He doesn't have that build yet. I don't know if he's working out and maybe by the end of the season he'll have a bigger build, or if they'll flash forward a couple of years and show Bruce as an adult. That's the only way I could see it. But who knows? This show might surprise me. We might see a teenage Batman. You know, I don't know how old Bruce is right now. I'm guessing he's like 17. So maybe they could pull it off. So I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. For the most part, this is a promising start to the season. And, No Man's Land was one of those first big comics that I ever read. I read a lot of Batman and Superman comics and Justice League. Obviously, the Ultimate Marvel stuff as well. But Batman, I think most people have read the most of because he's the most badass superhero of all time. And yeah, No Man's Land was one of those those big storylines that I actually read first. And I really loved. So to see this being adapted to the small screen, I think it's actually perfect. Obviously, if you've seen the Dark Knight trilogy, the Dark Knight Rises uses a little bit of inspiration from No Man's Land for their second and third act, I guess. I'm excited to see how they translate it for Gotham, because it's a storyline that you don't think would get picked up very often, and it does make some interesting storytelling. So with that being said, guys, comment below if you've seen the first episode of Gotham's final season. Comment below and tell me what you thought. With that being said, if you are a huge fan of Gotham, please remember to like and subscribe. And until next time, take care.